You were listening to a Nerd Room podcast, a member of the Star Wars Commonwealth Podcast Network. Be sure to check out more from the Star Wars Commonwealth on the web at starwarscommonwealth.com and take your first steps into a larger world. Hey everyone, welcome to the Nerd Room. We talk all things comics and movies. This is episode number 82. We'll be catching up on all the Star Wars, Marvel, and DC news post San Diego Comic-Con. I'm one of your hosts, Tim.
I'm Troy, and I like hot toys.
And I'm Sunjay.
Troy, this is your last podcast as a quote-unquote single man.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, after this, you're just going to be so bubbly and so excited after your marriage.
Yeah, you're walking down the aisle this weekend.
It's going down.
Are you going to be walking down to Imperial March, the Star Wars Darth Vader song?
That'd be awesome. Oh, man. Don't put that in my head now.
One thing, we throw a curveball at court here because the girls were working on wedding stuff all day here. So maybe you should ask to walk into the reception, because I've told this story before, but I walked into that at a reception, and it's a nice compromise.
Oh, I love that. I love that idea. That's incredible.
So we're elated for you here, and we're going to be there celebrating, tipping a few back here on Saturday. But I thought we'd take the opportunity here, just to the first 5 minutes, and because Sunjay and I have been married for a few years each, not together.
Well, you never know. I mean, it is 2017.
True. Not that you're not an attractive man, but we do have wives and children to think about.
That's right, yeah.
But I thought maybe we could impart a little bit of wisdom to Troy here, you've been with your fiance for as long as we've been with our girlfriends / wives and all that. But as married men, maybe we have a little bit of insight here. And I'm going to throw it to Sunjay here. What is something that you want to tell Troy about marriage that he should know about?
All right, little Troy. So I don't know, I'm going to tell you some advice.
I have no idea where this is going.
Neither do I. I'm just going to wing it to the seat of my
though.
pants. Yeah, okay. So Troy, on the wedding night, there's going to be certain expectations that, you and your wife will be going through. And I know, you young kids today, you do your things before marriage, but, you kind of just save it up for marriage. And, if you need any tips or tricks.
Or counseling?
Or no, not counseling. Okay. Hopefully not counseling. I mean, hopefully your wedding night isn't that horrific where, you need counseling. But, if you need any, manuals or any, anything at all, just come to me and I will, give you some advice, impart some wisdom for you to make your wedding night, just that extra special night.
Appreciate it, man.
You can tweet him at Sunjabi. I'll get back to you almost right away.
Also known as the Love Guru.
I was just going to say that. That's crazy.
Well, I got a little bit for you. I'm not going to go down that particular route. I'm going to kind of just pass on a little thing I learned about collecting in the marriage world.
Okay, here we go. I need this.
I think you're quite familiar with this. It's ask for forgiveness, not for permission. I'm sorry. But sometimes it's easier to show up with a hot toy and say, I'm sorry, sweetie. I will cut back next year.
Yeah.
Next year.
Maybe after Force Friday too. But just ask for forgiveness. Just say, that. I'm sorry, but you still have the hot toy.
You should put that in your marriage vows.
I'm going there, though.
Yeah,
I'm doing it.
You should in your marriage vows be like, and I promise, that every year I can get at least one hot toy, and then every year you can get, I don't know, whatever her little heart desires.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It's a good compromise.
Yeah.
Love it.
Compromise. That's what marriage is about. Sometimes, though, when collecting, there is that aspect of it. But sometimes it's okay to hide things for a little while.
Be like, oh, that thing? That's old. I got that last year.
I had that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's this $150 charge at EB Games. Don't worry about it. It was something for the nerd room. The guys are going to pay me back. Reviewing stuff,
It's a write-off.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to go to the EB Games. I'd never even seen this before. What are you talking about? Oh, let's call the bank right now. Let's dispute this charge right now.
Well, that's some good advice. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, that's great.
If you guys out there got advice for Troy, make sure to tweet him.
Yes.
At TroyTheBoy87.
So the big day is this Saturday?
Yeah, it's going down.
And so you guys are going to get married. I mean, you're a big Darth Vader fan, Anakin.
Yes.
Anakin.
There you go.
And so are you gonna, do your marriage kind of like Anakin and Padme in Star Wars Episode 2?
Okay. I like that setting. Actually.
Yeah,
that's pretty nice.
Pretty romantic in the flowers and
across
the
the
forest.
stars. Across the stars is the score. It's a great soundtrack.
Sanjay's laying down some knowledge here because he did
This
spend
is
the
a
weekend watching Attack of the Clones and Revenge. So had to slide that one in there.
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about.
I've been planning this all week.
Yeah.
I was like,
I hate sand reference now.
Yeah,
Right?
Exactly. Are you gonna put that in? Every time someone mentions sand, and you guys gonna stand up and kiss, or
Just force choke someone.
Well, that's a great segue
That's right.
into our first topic here, guys.
Star Trek.
Whoa, dude, we gotta really work on your timing. We're talking Star Wars here. Star Wars, Lucasfilm, Hasbro, whomever controls all this, is leaking like a sieve. We are leaking like the Trump administration here, guys.
Oh, shots fired.
Not literally, because North Korea is getting a bit scary. We're going to focus in on our fantasy world here for the next hour
Much
or so.
safer.
Yeah. Toys are leaking. We got Force Friday 2 coming down the pike here on September 1st.
Yes.
I'm going to miss it. Unfortunately, I'm going to be away in business. But we've got a lot of information over the last couple of weeks as to what's going to be available at Toys R Us, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yes.
On Force Friday 2 or within the next week or two after that. And the big things that were leaked to start with were the 3 3/4 inch Star Wars The Last Jedi action figures. And now looking at this has been a line that I've been quite excited about. I've got the Rogue One, I've got the Force Awakens. I went back to collect the 5 POA 3 3/4 inch Star Wars figures. I love the card backs. I love the idea behind the cheaper $7.99 to $10.99 kind of price range. It's not too much out of pocket. You don't feel bad going in buying one or two of them off the shelf. They are usually quite flush on the shelves as well. And we got our first images here and a first look as to exactly who is going to be swinging on the pegs on Force Friday. And it's our usual crew here. We got Pin.
Good old Pin.
We've got Finn, C-3PO without a red arm. We've got Poe. We've got Rose, Paige, her sister, Stormtrooper, Chewbacca, Rey in her Jedi training gear, General Hux, Kylo Ren without a mask, as well as a very sad and sappy looking Luke Skywalker without his lightsaber. Again, so this is two figures that we do not have a lightsaber for with Luke. Now, I dropped an article on the website, thenerdroom.net, which kind of tries to speculate a bit as to why he does not have his lightsaber, the green lightsaber. I think it's because they're hiding something, a big plot point. If you remember back to the first Force Friday with Rey, no lightsabers on any of her action figures. That includes the Elite Series, 3 3/4 inch Black Series, but then come post The Force Awakens, she's got a lightsaber and everything, even down to the Elite Series, which was a direct repack with just a blue lightsaber for an extra $26.99 or whatever.
And did you get both of them, Tim?
I didn't actually.
Really?
I showed a little restraint because when they first dropped, I did not show any restraint.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I've been a big fan of 3 3/4 inch 5 POA action figures. But I'm looking at these, I'm definitely going to get them. But the card backs aren't doing it for me this time around. That's what really drew me in for The Force Awakens and Rogue One. These are pretty plain. They're white. They've got a little bit of that red splash, but they don't even say The Last Jedi on them. What do you guys think about these 3 3/4 inch 5 POA figures? Are you going to be hunting these on Force Friday?
No, I'm still going to pass. I stick to the 6 inch. But yeah, looking at the card backs here, not really pleased with the white background. It looks just very plain, very dull.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of missing something. The Affleck looking, the sad Affleck is kind of disappointing. But the figures as a whole, they look pretty decent. I do like what they're doing. It's cool to see C3 got his original golden arm back.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I wonder if they'll split. Probably not. They'll probably do another one-off comic book, right? Like they did last time, which would be cool. But I'm just not feeling the design of the actual card backs.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I think that the nice thing about them, though, in light of maybe the card back not being as rich as far as graphically as the other ones, is that we're not getting any chunks of plastic, any build-a-weapons or anything like that.
Right.
These are straight-up figures. If there's no accessories to go with the figure in the movie, there's no accessories in these 3 3/4 inch, what I think is a plus. It makes the packaging actually look a lot better. You don't have this hunk of plastic in there that detracts from the actual action figure because it has nothing to do with the movie. It's just something to build, or these kind of weapons that you know what I mean? It's just for kids, right? Yeah. But these look like they're 3 3/4 inch aimed a little more at even collectors than they are at probably their prime demographic, which is kids for this price point, right?
That's a good point, actually. And I've been noticing with Hasbro lately, because I have just come off the heels of getting Spider-Man Homecoming Wave Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure, and what they've done now is they actually have a separate packaging for the Build-A-Figure wave. Oh. So once you take that packaging out, you still have the original packaging for the Build-A-Figure. So it's cool. So it doesn't look like it's missing. In the past, you must know this all the time, when you're collecting your Build-A-Figures, you have that missing like arm in the packaging, but now you don't have to suffer that anymore.
Well, that's cool.
It's kind of cool. So big ups to Hasbro.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
They're doing big things. And like things like Hux has got a mouse droid and Chewbacca's got a porg. Yeah. Like, this is fantastic. These little accessories are way better than the other things that they were doing in the past. And apparently, exactly. Yeah. And there's also this Force Link, which you can see on the front of the card back here. And I think it has something to do with either a card or something that you may have to buy a separate piece to actually make the action figures talk.
Oh, okay.
Remember how they did? Do you remember
Phantom Menace?
Phantom Menace, yes. And they had that big thing with the little chips on the bottom.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see if they're actually movie quotes, because these come out a couple months before the movie, and if these guys are spewing off lines from the movie,
I hate sand. Sanjay gets that.
I get that now. Yeah, I mean, that's why Troy never wants to go to the beach anymore. I invite him all the time, and reluctantly he never accepts. So I don't know what's wrong with that.
Because he hates sand. Yeah. But the big release here, yakface.com actually dropped this. They kind of deciphered this from the 3 3/4 inch release as far as the kind of codes they were using, I guess, within the retailers and that. But it looks like now we've got somewhat semi-official confirmation, but not really, that we got the waves 1 and 2 for the Black Series for The Last Jedi. And this will be dropping on Force Friday 2. Apparently both waves. I don't really know about this. This checklist that I saw over at Yakface as well, it has both waves, which seems like a lot of figures to be dropping at once.
Right.
We're used to just one wave on Force Friday, followed by a subsequent wave closer to the release of the movie.
If we're lucky.
We're lucky, yeah. So we'll see. But here's what the waves look like. Wave 1 is going to be composed of, and these are case backs. So we're going to have 2 Darth Vaders. This is going to be the 40th anniversary repack.
Nice.
On the normal Black Series card back.
Nice.
So it's 2 per case. We're going to get the Rey and the Luke separately that we did see at San Diego Comic-Con that Sunjay saw up close.
Absolutely, it looked fantastic.
Yeah. We're going to get a Kylo Ren without a mask, an Episode 8 Kylo Ren.
Okay.
Probably with a scar and maybe the Vader cape.
Right. It'll be interesting if his scar's different than the Force Awakens one.
Yes, because apparently the scar moves a bit. Yeah.
Exactly.
From the photos that we did see.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's more of a, I think, something that looks a little better.
Yeah.
More aesthetically pleasing than the scar.
Makes sense.
We're also getting the Grand Admiral Thrawn from San Diego Comic-Con without the office and all that, but just the figure with the blaster. Okay. We're getting Harrison Dula.
Oh my god.
Yes, right? From Star Wars Rebels. This is the figure that was supposed to come with the Qui-Gon wave. Okay. I believe they took it back and did some repainting to make it look a little better.
Nice.
So this is going to go nicely along with the Rebels that we've got already. Kanan, Ahsoka, and Sabine.
Right.
So this is going to be a hugely sought after figure. And then we're also getting a repack of the 40th anniversary Stormtrooper. So this actually goes way back to, I think, the second or third wave of the original Black Series. That's the same Stormtrooper. So we're getting that again. Okay. So we're getting a few repacks in this wave. And this is going to be followed by Wave 2, which has a repack of the Snowtrooper from, I believe, Wave 9. So this is the Empire Strikes Back Snowtrooper. And we're getting an AT-AT driver again. And then we're getting a Poe Dameron figure. Brand new from Episode 8.
Is he in the jacket or is he going to be in his pilot gear?
We've not seen this yet. So maybe in his pilot gear, maybe his jacket, I don't know.
Right.
We're getting Kylo Ren, which is a carry forward from Wave 1 in this pack. We're getting a Chewbacca. And then we're also getting the Elite Praetorian Guard. So those are the red Snoke guards.
Right.
So they look pretty cool. And we're also getting that General Leia that we saw at San Diego Comic-Con, as well as a Finn figure.
Oh, man.
So, again, a fairly dense. It's not quite as exciting as Wave 1. Yeah. But both these waves are looking pretty big.
Yeah, Hasbro, take my money. This is great. That first wave you mentioned just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
That's huge. I'm probably going to get Vader again. I've already spent like $80 on 2 Vaders. I'm going to drop another $30 on this Vader. I'm going after Syndulla for sure.
Yes.
Wow, that sounds like an incredible wave. And then we get Leia too in that second wave.
Yeah. Huge.
Wow, that's incredible. Sunjay, can I convince you to come with me to Force Friday this
when
year,
is
2017? It? September 1st.
So it'll be Thursday going into the midnight.
Thursday going into the midnight. Yeah. Is the Friday a holiday?
No. Well, it's a holiday amongst...
It is Force Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can convince my boss that, I need to come with you, Absolutely, I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll just say I need an adult with me.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the day before the Garth Brooks concert, so I'd like to get my beauty rest, and get prepped for that.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
But, if it wasn't for Garth Brooks, you can blame him for me not coming.
Fair enough.
Some of the other things that just may entice us to spend that much more money, and actually you putting into effect the wisdom that I just passed on, is we're also going to get the 2 6-inch scale vehicles.
Ooh.
So the Rey with her speeder and the Luke repack, just not in the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So that's Luke with the speeder.
Oh, okay. And that's for Force Friday as well?
Apparently. Wow, I don't really know. There's a checklist that's over on yakface.com. You can go check that out. Yeah. And I'm just kind of reading off that. I don't know if this is supposed to be for Force Friday 2. This seems like a lot of merchandise is going to be dropping. And usually we do get a lot of Legos and Pops and all this, but this is a lot of Hasbro related stuff. So I don't know exactly how much this is actually going to drop on Force Friday, or if we're going to see this slowly come out between now and The Last Jedi.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I'm expecting. But one of the other big things here that I'm loving, this when I saw this on Yakface, I freaked out. So we've got our GameStop exclusives. EB Games here in Canada, that's the equivalent, and they're usually pretty good about getting their exclusives in. So check this one out. Supreme Leader Snoke with a throne, 6-inch scale, GameStop exclusive.
In the golden
I'm guessing
gear,
so.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Jeez. What are they doing here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I gotta get my hands on that too.
That sounds like Troy from his wedding night there. The same noises you're making right now are the same noises you'll be making that night.
Yeah. I
do. Cool.
Yeah. And there's a couple others that are dropping too. We've got an Elite Guards 4-pack. It's also a GameStop exclusive. I'm not sure exactly what that's going to be, if that's just going to be 4 of the Victorian Guards, or what that's going to be. Maybe one of these Executioner Stormtroopers that we saw in the trailer, which would be pretty cool. So keep a lookout for that. And there's also this Clone Commander Gree, which we did know was coming out. That was announced, I believe, back at Celebration. And our dude over at Tumbling Saber, Corey, Chop Rules with the Z.
Yeah.
He did find a Clone Commander Gree, but he did find it at Toys R Us for a premium. He paid around $40 for that.
Wow.
So these Toys R Us exclusives are getting up there, and I'm not too pleased about that. That is expensive.
That's crazy.
Yes.
$40?
Yes, and so we usually
steelbook.
Well, exactly. We've usually seen this with the exclusive figures being a bit more expensive, usually around $36.99. He's out in Quebec, so I don't know if there's just a slight uplift because of provincial sales tax or whatever, but that's still a lot. And usually what we saw with the hover tank driver, and there's another exclusive that just swung on the pegs because they're over $35. Yes, the $150 TIE fighter that we're looking at here. So this goes to my rule: sit on this. These will cool. Mm-hmm. Anything over $35, with the exception of 6-inch scale vehicles and all that, sit on it. I don't think they're gonna sell. So we'll see. Sorry, Corey. I hope that they are super exclusive, and no one else can find them except for you. But it's over my $35 rule, so I'm not picking this up until I see it get discounted.
Yeah, with these exclusives, even with the Marvel Legends and the Black Series stuff, it's definitely, you just got to sit on those. Like, look at Vader. Vader was $79 at retail when it first came out.
Yeah.
Dropped down to $59 and then went down to the $40. You know, a lot of these things you got to sit down and, well, not sit down actually on these figures, but you just got to sit on it and wait. And the prices will drop.
They will.
For sure.
Yeah, that reminds me, I was looking for the Ghostbuster figures from the new Ghostbusters movie last year. You know, started at $30, got them for $2 a pop. So, you know, you just sit on them.
Yeah, there you go.
$2.
Play the cooler, man.
Yeah.
Just got to ride these out sometimes. And that's one thing that I've learned a lot in collecting recently, is that sometimes you just don't have to get it the first day. Like, you do get in there, heat of the moment, you know, you get kind of that fever, and it's going to happen on Force Friday too.
Oh, yeah.
To both of us.
Yeah.
Or me eventually at some point. But I'm going to get out there and get all these.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me too that's like, I don't really have to go crazy. You know, sometimes it's better just to like play this out. At some point in time, you will be able to get your hands on that. Yeah, you might pay a little bit of a premium, but at the same time, it's better. I must sit and wait now, I think. A little more than I used to be. I'm still going to get caught up in the moment.
But isn't it hurt twice as bad as when you sit and wait and then you see it and it's like twice the price?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I had this one, I can't remember, it was the Steelbook, and I left it at Best Buy, and I was like, oh, I'll pick it up later. Can't even remember what movie it was. And then, like, I didn't even really want it, but then when I came back and it was sold out, Then I really wanted it. I was like, oh, I can't believe I sat on this. Now I don't have it. Now I have to go online to eBay or go to Amazon and pay like twice the price.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That really hurts. But I find I've had more experiences the other way where I've overpaid.
Yeah.
And then had that pain coming out the other end when it's like, okay, I paid $150 for this and it's now 60.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? You have to pick and choose, and you have to sometimes you just pull the trigger and you just take the risk. And I did that with the Vader and I got burned. Yeah. I did that with the original Boba Fett in the Black Series and I got burned. I overpaid for that.
Right.
I paid like $50 for it, and then I found it for $25 at the Disney store like a week later.
Oh.
Yeah. So
can you take it back?
I tried, but they wouldn't take it.
Really? Just drop it and be like, it's damaged.
Well, no, this is I got it from like almost like a hobby shop.
Oh.
And so it was kind of like,
they'd be like, dude,
it wasn't like a Toys R Us or a Walmart where I'd just be like, hey, I'll return this with a Luke Skywalker in it. You know?
Yeah.
It's still sitting there today.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Well, Force Friday 2, we're going to be covering that, and we're going to have some stuff with guys on the ground, and hopefully maybe from some of the other guys in the Commonwealth that will be experiencing it as well. We can maybe combine up and do something a little more in depth. But we will, running into Force Friday 2, as more news drops, we're going to be keeping you guys updated as both on the podcast and on the site. We're going to try to upload the images when they're officially released. I'm going to stay away, or we're going to stay away from uploading anything that is leaked images to the website for now, just to kind of stay away from getting in trouble from Hasbro or Disney or whatever. We don't want them going and shutting a brand new website down.
Bring on the lawyers. What are they going to do? Yeah, we got lawyers here.
This is a fan site.
But we could take on Disney.
Yeah, I'm sure we could.
We got a whole team of lawyers.
Yeah. Hopefully you know a lawyer.
I actually do.
But we're going to keep you guys updated on this as best we can and try to give a little bit of insight as to what we're hunting and what we're going after. I know Hera and Thrawn are going to be some of the more sought after figures. Yeah. Luke and Rey are going to be up there as well. I would expect those Vaders to kind of linger a little bit in the first wave. And as we get a little more information, we'll be sure to keep you guys updated on all that. But as we roll through here some of the Star Wars news, one thing I just want to touch on, there's another leak batch of images from The Last Jedi. And these were kind of close-ups, looked like more promo images or images maybe for the visual guide or something like that. And there's ones of Luke and Kylo and Rey, some really cool shots that we've seen already from the behind the scenes. But the big one that was released, that I want to touch on briefly here, was Supreme Leader Snoke. And we get a first real good look at this guy, this twisted, mangled looking old man with the gold robe. What are your guys' thoughts on his look in The Last Jedi here?
His look is, pretty similar to Force Awakens. But if you really look at it, it's a lot different. I mean, obviously we got the gold now. We've seen in the hologram that he's wearing black, even though it was a hologram, but I'm pretty sure he was wearing a black cloak. He's a lot more of a darker character. Now he's wearing the gold. His skin tone too, it's not like grayed out, because I know, again, we only saw a hologram in Force Awakens, but if you look at even like your Lego sets and whatnot, I think it's a Lego set.
The leaked image, yeah.
Yeah, he was like grayed out, like a couple times for, maybe it wasn't the Lego sets, but a couple times for like figures or some of the promotional arts, you'd see that he's more gray and not the complexion that he has here.
Look like Plagueis-like.
Exactly. Where now they've fleshed it out, it's a little different. But man, the mystery still surrounds this character. Like, who is he? I'm starting to think he's just Snoke. He's not any other pre-existing character. I would love it if he was somebody from the Clone Wars or something like that. I don't know. But all in all, it's interesting. It's a big take from Palpatine. We have this bright, kind of flamboyant looking character.
Yeah. And it's interesting he's so beat up and mangled. Like, he's got a scar on his head,
burns,
his throat. Right?
Yeah.
His throat's all messed up, but he's got these big blue eyes.
Yeah, like, who could this guy be?
Yeah.
Vader.
So you know what, man? There's someone that pointed out on the internet not too long ago, like the melted mask of Vader kind of matches the melted face of this. Right. I don't think it's Anakin or Vader or anything like that. And I'm leaning more towards you, and I think I've always been a little bit more on that side, is that he's just an original character, someone else, and maybe he has connections far back to the Jedi or far back to the Sith, but I don't think it's a direct connection to the Skywalkers.
Right.
Like, that's just a bit too much. I like the idea of him being connected to something bigger, but not something directly related to the story that we're kind of running through here, as far as connection to family or a deeper rooted connection to Luke or whatever, right?
That's right. Yeah, no, I still am a big fan of that theory that he was potentially one of the first of the remaining Jedi from beforehand, and those Jedis then were a lot different than the Jedis that we all know today. So that would be kind of cool, and that's why Luke's saying, the Jedi must end. end. I don't know. But
That'd be such a cool play on The Last Jedi, having the first Jedi.
Exactly.
Like that whole, I love that idea.
I eat it up. Yeah, I think
Full
that's
circle.
great.
I like it.
Sunjay, after all of your history lessons here of episodes 1, 2, and 3,
That's right.
what do you got from here? What do you think?
Yeah, I love it. It's kind of like a Liberace Vegas look, like the gold robe. It's nice, It's kind of some color to this. I like it.
Yeah.
I dig it. I'm thinking, what if he is actually Vader? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't think he's Vader. Yeah.
Stir in the pot.
Yeah. To be honest, I think I have to rewatch Force Awakens again because I only saw it the one time in theaters, which is a travesty, but I really got to see it again before we see...
Oh, 100%. I think everyone's got to rewatch that.
Yeah, we got to have like a communal rewatch or something going
definitely.
on.
Yeah.
I got things rolling around my head for that.
Oh,
Nice.
Put a pin in that one for now.
Nice.
Done.
But yeah, I think it's shaping up to be a very exciting and a very different movie. We've spoken a lot of detail in the past about how this movie feels like it's going to be different. And I kind of spoke out and said, I'm ready for this tonal shift. I'm ready for even this shift in the ideals behind the Jedi.
Yeah.
I want a little bit of a different story here. And I think we're going to start to get that in this movie as we progress through into episode 9. And seeing images like this, I agree. This guy is something ancient.
For sure.
I think he's an original character, and I love the way he looks here, and he just looks battle-worn.
Yes.
And it's appropriate for this. There's another really cool theory that Mark from over at Talksaurus has been floating around for a while, is that the Sith have the ability, kind of like the Jedi have the ability to be Force ghosts,
right,
and the Sith have the ability to embody another body. You know what I mean? So like, is this idea that like there's a ancient Sith presence that's embodied Snoke as the character, and he's kind of controlling it, and he kind of can pass that along. He's got a really good theory up on the talksaurus.co.uk website.
Okay.
Where you can go check that out, where he's been, that's another thing I kind of like, is that he is, again, something ancient,
right,
but the body we see him in isn't necessarily the body
original.
Of the original character.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, because going back to Rebels, I feel like that show's kind of been prepping their audience too to think outside the box of the original status quo of the Jedi and Sith.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could be in for a treat and something different for sure going into The Last Jedi.
Yeah. All the media surrounding the films has been really leaning on that.
Mm-hmm.
That get prepared for something different, whether it's Rebels or even Lost Stars,
yes,
Rogue One, testing limits of
right,
people that are Force sensitive that aren't necessarily Jedi. So there's a lot of that being prepped for. And I really agree with you. I really think we're going down that path.
For sure.
Yeah. And speaking about Rebels, it's coming back. It's already August.
Yeah.
September is going to roll up on us very soon. And that's traditionally when we get Rebels debuting. And there's rumors going around that September 23rd, we're going to see the debut of Rebels with a 1-hour episode titled Heroes of Mandalore. Now, this is picking up on the Sabine storyline, maybe even wrapping that up a bit and bring her back into the fold, into the rebellion. And I believe at least part of this was screened at Celebration this year.
I heard that, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for that. We're going to be returning, Troy and I, with Star Wars Rebels Alert, our weekly podcast after show where we discuss a fallout from each individual episode. Now, there's only 10 episodes this year, so we're going to be counting down. The first episode is an hour long, so that's 2 episodes. So we're going to have 8 more weeks after that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nuts.
Wow.
So are you excited for this one?
Oh, completely. I love Rebels. This has been good. I've been hooked really since season 1, but the season 2 trailer is just phenomenal. Go back and check it out. That'll get you into the show. Sunjay, go check it out. You're on that Star Wars path right now.
Is it on Netflix?
No,
I don't
it's
think
not.
so. No.
It's not. I think it's on the Google Play Store.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's on iTunes as well.
iTunes?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it on like Teletoon or Cartoon
It's on
Network?
Disney XD
Okay.
every Saturday.
Okay. So if they replay it, how many episodes are there?
There'll be 4 seasons, so there's like 70 some odd episodes.
Holy smokes.
I think they play the old
there's 3
episodes.
seasons. Yeah, there's 3 seasons going with about 22 episodes each.
Right, and they play the old episodes, I believe, before the new ones.
Yeah.
So they on XD.
Yeah.
So you can catch up in a hurry.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, my cousin back in Ontario, he was looking for something Star Wars related. He's really into Star Wars, and whenever I go home, he's like, "Oh, let's talk. Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go watch Rogue One and all this." And he's like, "I need a little more content." And I said, "Try Rebels." I said, "Clone Wars I've never watched it, but it's a huge commitment.
It is. Yeah.
You can blast through Rebels in not too much time. That's again, it's 60 episodes or so, give or take.
Yeah.
And he watched the first season while I was there. Loved it.
Nice.
He's like, man, I said, just get through the first season. I said, it's good.
Yeah.
But as you progress further, you get more and more embroiled in the idea of the OT, and you get a lot of crossovers, and you're getting characters you're familiar with and all that. So just get through that, and you're going to love it. And he's just on fire. He's just texting me all the time, man, I'm loving Rebels. It's so good. He's going, Vader's here.
Man. Twilight of Apprentice. He has to get to that episode.
He's loving it. But yeah, I'm super stoked for Rebels to return. And being the last season, it's going to be an intense, I think, 10 episodes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're going to see Thrawn here. I'm about halfway through his book.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'm really, really praying. I got a theory. I'm going to wait until these episodes drop. I got a theory as to where Thrawn could go during the OT, and where he could be maybe pop back up eventually in the timeline after Return of the Jedi, but we'll see. There's a little bit on Empire's End, a little bit in the Thrawn book that kind of leans on this a little, so we'll see.
Nice.
So Rebels will be airing on Saturday, and we usually drop the episodes on Monday, so make sure you tune back in here when those start to kick up, and we'll be talking Rebels.
Keep it locked right here.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I think it's time to swing over to DC, Sunjay.
Woo!
Wonder Woman. We've spoken almost as much about it as we have Batman vs Superman.
That's impossible. Okay, someone's gonna have to go back and tally every episode where we at least mention Batman v Superman.
It's at least 90%.
Oh, guaranteed. The number one talked about movie of all time.
Yes, but Wonder Woman is talked about positively.
That's true.
And very much so on this podcast. And one thing we wanted to look back on here was box office. We do focus in on this from time to time. This is a key thing for MCU retrospective series, as well as every movie we do review. We have kind of this vested interest in box office. We all seem to have a bit of a fascination with it. And one thing that I find unbelievable, and we have mentioned this before, but Wonder Woman is the highest domestically grossing comic book movie of this year, outgrossing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which I thought was a way long shot, and also Spider-Man Homecoming. Now that's still got some legs to it here, but we're looking at almost 100 million for Spider-Man Homecoming to catch up with it before it finishes its run. So Wonder Woman domestically is sitting at $400 million.
Crazy. Over
Guardians 388. And Guardian, I believe the run is done. You have to be so excited about this, Sunjay, that this movie has done this well. I would have never guessed that.
Me neither. I mean, this is a huge win for DC. I'm the biggest DC fan, and even I didn't see this coming. To put it in perspective, if it grosses, I think, 3 million more, it'll pass Spider-Man and be the highest grossing superhero origin movie of all time.
Really?
Domestically, which is crazy. And it's only, 8 million away from Civil War? Which is crazy. I mean, that's impressive. I mean, this movie is taking on its life of its own. If you look at every weekend, I would follow it, and instead of seeing 50% drops, you're seeing 30% drops,
which is unheard of.
Insane.
In the summer too,
especially for 2017. This is playing like a movie in the 90s or the 80s where box office runs were way longer than they are today. And this movie struck a chord with audiences and critics. I mean, this is just a cultural phenomenon. I mean, $400 million. It's insane. I can't even fathom it. Troy, what's your thoughts on this?
Oh, I love it. I love it. This is great. And yeah, you're right. This is a huge win for DC. This is what DC needed, and it's really kicked the momentum of the DCEU full front now. With Comic-Con going on there, and we see with the Justice League trailer, the first thing we see is Wonder Woman, right? Yeah. So I think she's going to get a huge push, and she deserves so, because she's really been the best thing they put out in their movie universe. I still like Man of Steel more. That's one I really do like, but I feel like all those movies are pretty divided. But I feel like everyone's pretty much on the same terms with this movie, that everyone agrees that it's a good film. So yeah, great job for DC and Wonder Woman, and they've announced Wonder Woman 2. Yes. So I'm looking forward to that, and yeah, good job.
They've also announced too that she might even be showing up in the Flashpoint film.
Yeah, a little bit of Tony Starkism, eh?
Yeah, I think we're gonna see her pulled throughout this universe, exactly like you put it. It's gonna be Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And she's going to play a big role, I think, more so than even Affleck as Batman. That is the character you think. They even started to play with that a bit with Suicide Squad, Batman vs. Superman, what we saw at the end of, through Justice League and that, through the trailers we've seen.
Yeah.
But she seems to be the one that's now going to take that mantle and kind of walk around with it and be like, Wonder Woman's here, guys. Don't forget, it's the same thing. The Iron Man effect. Don't forget, Iron Man's in this movie.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see a lot of that.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to the last episode we mentioned with the Rebirth movie. I think Rebirth now is going to become, or Rebirth, the Flashpoint movie.
Yeah.
I love Rebirth. With the Flashpoint movie now, I'm thinking it's going to be more so kind of like the Civil War to Captain America. Like, it's Flash's movie, but it's really like an Avengers or Justice League 2.0.
Yeah.
Right, or 2.5. Because obviously, going back to the Flashpoint movie or the comic book, Wonder Woman had a pretty big role in that. It was a reversed role where she was kind of the villain.
Yeah.
And Aquaman was the villain.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be pretty cool to see that side of her, Gal Gadot, make that performance in this film. And I think, sooner or later, we're probably going to hear an announcement that Aquaman's going to be in this film. Because I think you can have both those two collide. And I'm still have my money on it that we're going to get a Batman in there, 2 Batmen. One probably played by Jeffrey D. Morgan as the father.
Can't wait.
Thomas Wayne.
Wayne.
Geared up, and then we'll get introduced to a new, younger Bruce Wayne.
And a new Joker.
Maybe.
A female
and
Joker.
A new Joker.
Really?
That's right.
Yeah. Martha, what's her name from Walking Dead? Maggie? I think it's Maggie.
Is this like a real thing?
Well,
yeah.
the Flashpoint.
Or is this from the comic books, or this is like
This
an
is from the
announcement?
comic
Okay,
books,
I think you meant like
comic book.
announcement.
No, I wish.
Did I miss?
Yeah, and the comic books, instead of Bruce Wayne being the survivor of the incident in Crime Alley, basically Thomas Wayne dies and Martha died, or Thomas Wayne and Martha both live.
Yeah, and
Thomas
Bruce
becomes
dies.
Batman, Bruce dies, and Martha becomes Joker.
Yeah.
Right. So
That would be pretty epic.
that'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Being a linchpin movie, or what appears to be a linchpin movie for this universe, you almost have to have everyone in it. If they're going to reboot or whatever you want to call this, they're going to kind of skew the timeline a bit here to fix a few things.
Correct it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is the characters you need in here. You need your strong characters in here.
Yeah.
And I think it's the way to go.
I absolutely agree.
It'd be interesting because Ben Affleck's Batman and Henry Cavill's Superman really don't play a big part in the comic books. This is more...
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, like this is more like the secondary characters of DC, and DC hasn't really done a good job up until this point really promoting those characters and making movies of them. I mean, besides Wonder Woman, can you name another non-Batman and Superman DC film that people loved?
Green Lantern. Yeah, no, definitely not. But I think Batman as a whole will always sell. And in this movie with the Flashpoint, you do have the option of focusing on Thomas Wayne's Batman, which is a huge push still. So essentially, we won't get Bruce Wayne, but we'll still get Batman in this film.
And
with guns.
Yes. And, I was just going to say, do you know who'd be the perfect director for this movie? Zack Snyder.
You would.
Think about it. The Thomas Wayne with the guns and
the
the
Atlanteans against the Amazons.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool to see.
He is amazing action director.
I don't want to say... I know Zack Snyder's going through a tough time and all that, so I'll refrain. They need someone new to do this.
Yeah.
They need fresh blood. They need the DCEU's Russo brothers to take this on and move this in the direction towards a Justice League 2. I don't even know when this comes out, but
2020, I believe.
2020.
Okay, so it's going to be post Justice League 2.
Well, they haven't announced
I don't
Justice
know.
League 2.
Yeah,
right?
Justice League 2
So
So
hasn't
that's why I
been
think
announced.
this would be like the Justice League 1.5.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Justice League 2 is kind of the fallout from all of this. Maybe like the
Most
regrouping
likely.
of the team and all this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, wait and
So,
see. So
we'll have to see.
a little bit of excitement, momentum building here.
Yeah, I gotta say, last year we mentioned our most anticipated, like, this was not on my list at all, Justice League. And now, like, since Comic-Con and Wonder Woman, like, I'm on board. Like, Jason Momoa is killing it, and
So I like to
I'm
hear.
pretty excited. I got my Justice League shirt on right now, actually. Like,
Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon, right? Doing
So,
Batgirl, doing this.
Are we all going to go opening night?
I'm there now.
Yeah?
I'm totally there now. For
We'll
sure.
all dress up as different members of the Justice League.
Yeah. You're definitely Wonder Woman.
I was going to say Aquaman, but sure. I can be Wonder Woman.
Our boy Brad.
Yes, right. Yeah.
He did dress up as Wonder Woman for his bachelor party, and I got some quite flattering photos of his. He can lend it to you. It's a little sweaty, probably.
That's all right. There's a dry cleaner.
All right, Wonder Woman, big success. She's going to be moving probably through the DC extended universe in different movies. Now, let's pull this back and look at the Oscars. There's been some rumors going around that Warner Brothers is going to make a big push for Wonder Woman to be nominated for an Oscar. I don't know what particular categories. I'm going to go with probably director, and there's going to be, yes, of course, the CG and all that. But do you think Wonder Woman, outside of the normal categories that the comic book movies fall into, sound editing and all that, do you think they deserve a nomination for something else, like acting or directing? Do you think it could be the first movie to take that big step outside of The Dark Knight?
I'm gonna say yes. I think it deserves it, to be honest with you. Especially director Patty Jenkins did an amazing job. And Best Picture, there's 10 nominees now. Ever since The Dark Knight got snubbed, they've decided to double it to 10. And I honestly can't think of 9 other movies that I liked more than Wonder Woman this year. And I'm not alone. I mean, if you look at the critics, this is sitting at 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. As I said, this is a cultural phenomenon. Young girls are going to see this in droves. Young boys are going to see this in droves. Adults, men, women, seniors, everyone's going to see this film. Everyone loves it. And it's made a ton of money at the box office. I cannot see this not being nominated. With everything it's done, I think it has to be nominated.
Do you think this is a more well put together movie than, say, Civil War or The Winter Soldier?
I don't know. It's tough.
I don't disagree with anything you said there at all. But is that enough to get it nominated for an Oscar?
I think a lot too depends on the competition of the year.
True.
I don't remember last year or when Civil War or when Winter Soldier came out, like what it was up against.
Boyhood and I think Whiplash. There's a couple heavy hitters. That year, for sure.
And I definitely think Winter Soldier, if it was nominated, I wouldn't have batted an eyelash. No. I think it deserved to be nominated. But I think yes. I think this is the one to lead this comic book movies and the superhero movies into the light and be the first one.
I'd love to see it, but is it time for the Oscars? And is this the movie that they're going to use to say, look, it's about time to acknowledge this genre because it is basically putting and lining pockets here, and it's allowing us to make these other movies because we can depend on these tentpole movies to bring in the cash. But now we're getting the quality out of them too. They're not just cash machines that are going to go up and say, here's my Transformers, give me my $1 billion so we can fund our other projects.
Right. Yeah. So
I still don't know if Hollywood's ready to take that step, but is this the right movie to do it? Maybe. I don't know, man. I'm kind of sitting on the fence here, I know, because I don't want to say no, because I agree the movie deserves some sort of recognition, but is this the movie to break through that glass ceiling of the comic book movie genre? I know I'm kind of paralleling that, so maybe not the right way. But I don't know.
What was the last big sci-fi movie to get nominated for Best Picture? Is it Avatar? The Martian? Yeah. But that wasn't really I guess that was sci-fi, but I'm talking about like aliens and something like
sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah, I think Avatar is the last one.
Yeah, probably.
I was gonna say Gravity, but that's not sci-fi really either. But
no.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it necessarily deserves to be nominated. To be honest, I think, and I just mentioned so many good things about the DCU, but I think Winter Soldier, out of any comic book movie since The Dark Knight, was worthy of that. I think even I'm not gonna say Spider-Man should get an Oscar, but I think Spider-Man's.
You might be a little biased there. I think Spider-Man should win every Oscar.
No, Spider-Man shouldn't win, but I'm just saying, to compare tomato scores doesn't even matter because that's at a higher score than Wonder Woman. And I would think that movie should be nominated, and that's my favorite movie of the year. But I mean, the other thing is too, it's so early into the Oscar season. We just had Detroit come out with my boy Boyega there, and I heard Anthony Mackie, and I heard some really good Oscar talk right there already. I just don't see for director wise, to be honest, I felt like the movie fell a little flat to the third act there.
Yeah,
so
it's not I think you go back to our review, but it's I don't want to knock this movie down. I don't want to spend the time saying no, it doesn't deserve it. But you're right, it doesn't have that strong third act that maybe a full and complete movie that deserves an Oscar nomination should have.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's really hard to say at this point.
Yeah. But I think WB would push it though because it looks good, right?
Yeah, I mean, they have to push it.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna push it. But for me, where I sit right now, I just don't think it should be the top or in the 10 categories for best film for director. Yeah,
I mean that's totally fair. I mean that's why they vote on these things, right?
Exactly.
But Patty Jenkins is great because she had Monster, right? Monster was Oscar.
That's
nominated.
right. And do you think Gal Gadot deserves a nom for Best Actress?
No, not a chance.
She was good.
Yeah,
but when you compare her to some of the other. I don't think so. It's hard because I don't want to spend this episode knocking it down.
Right.
Yeah.
But you got to put things on that even playing level.
It's that perspective, right?
Yeah.
The one thing I compare it to is when Pirates of the Caribbean came out, the first one, Johnny Depp got nominated for Best Actor as Jack Sparrow. Yeah, that's the character, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's been so long since I've seen those movies. And I could totally see her getting nominated as well because her performance kind of mirrors that in terms of the praise I'm seeing, and it was a big tentpole movie. So you never know. I would bet against it, but I certainly hope for it.
Yeah. all for surprises.
That's right.
And speaking about surprises, and my segues are on point today. let's shift a little bit to the more hilarious side of DC.
All right, let's do it.
Let's talk a little bit about Mustache Gate.
Oh,
this was my favorite part of the internet over the past couple of weeks. So the story behind Mustache Gate in the DC Extended Universe is Henry Cavill was pegged to do reshoots for Justice League, but he's currently shooting Mission Impossible 6 for Paramount. And in that movie, he has a bit of scruff and also a wicked mustache. Now, because he's under contract with Paramount, they, I guess, can control his facial hair. And they said to WB, absolutely not. He is not shaving anything. So he's gone through his reshoots, I guess, with a beard and a mustache. And WB, I am almost certain this is real, but I'm still not 100% on it. But apparently WB is spending a ton of money digitally erasing his facial hair.
Wow.
So there's going to be a lot of, you can tell the reshoots because it's going to be him looking away.
Oh,
yeah.
my goodness. That's a lot of money.
So
Yeah.
it was, you go online, check out the memes. We won't spend much time on this, but it is quite a funny aspect of these Justice League reshoots. A nice light tone to what is being called very expensive reshoots.
Yeah.
Did you see the director of Shazam? I think Adam Sandberg, he posted like a fake script of Shazam, and it has a whole scene between Superman and Shazam with Superman twirling his mustache.
Really?
Yeah,
Awesome.
He's like leaked script of Shazam, and then everyone was going crazy until they got to the end. They're like, "Oh, he got us."
That's awesome. And Henry Cavill responded to it. Everyone kind of played it up a little bit. So
Yeah.
it was a fun aspect of the internet. And you go look at all the mustaches now drawn on Superman. Awesome.
Nice.
Oh yeah, El Supermano.
All right, guys. Last topic for the day. Let's talk a little bit about Marvel. And something that broke last night was the first image of Cable, Josh Brolin. This is right on his Instagram. Go check it out. I retweeted it and all that. This character looks absolutely friggin' incredible. We've got the cybernetic arm. We've got the cybernetic eye. Josh Brolin is jacked. The hair looks good. He's got the white hair.
Oh, nice.
What do you guys think about this? The pockets, the grenade. He's got everything.
Yeah, you mentioned the pockets. That's Rob Liefeld right there, right?
Right,
You know,
yeah.
the man of pockets and the Jim Lee era of the X-Men. But you know what? I got to say, I think for the movie, it looks awesome. And I'm probably in the minority here. I'm like, yeah. But I think for the movie, it makes sense. But I'm still wanting like that just brooding Cable. And this guy's huge. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't think he can get any bigger. But he looks cool. I'm excited. I really like the eye, the glowing eye, and the arm. Obviously, he has that techno virus going on, right? Because he's the son of Cyclops and the son of the clone Jean Grey. So it's not the original Jean Grey. So I can't wait. I hope they make that connection that his origin stay true. That he is the son of Cyclops.
Nathan Summers.
Yeah, they
from
got
the
to do
future.
that.
Apparently, they're doing time travel and all that. Hopefully.
Okay,
Nice.
I'm excited. So they got to correct that universe because you're right on their tails, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fix your timeline.
Yeah. No, it looks really cool. I'm super excited for this movie now. Before this image was released, I'd kind of forgotten it. We've gotten so many superhero films. This one had kind of fallen to the wayside, and I'm like, oh yeah, now they're making Deadpool 2. So that goes right up to the top of my list. I think it comes out next year.
Yeah, next March or something.
Next March, so it's coming up,
Maybe.
fairly soon. Right in between or right before Black Panther.
Yeah, I don't know
they
when
stick
these.
to that February date
Yeah,
because that's what they had in 2016.
yeah. February is Black Panther. I don't know when this comes out.
But it'll be cool to see Deadpool, Josh Brolin's Cable, and their Domino.
Yes.
Domino is also released too.
That's
so
right,
Cool to see
yeah.
them
She's
get
awesome.
together.
Yeah, she's
I
on
like the look they're going with.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
And it all fits that Deadpool universe.
Exactly. That's
Right.
the
This
big
isn't
thing.
the big blue Cable that we're
Yeah.
kind of used to from Liefeld and all that.
Yeah.
But I think he looks incredible.
Yeah.
Like this is already one of my favorite images from the last couple of years. Like I'm not a huge Cable fan.
Right.
The only time I've ever really read him was in AVX. He
Right.
played a small part in the lead up into that. And with this kind of ominous, he's going back and forth in time and all this.
Right.
But he looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like I'm super stoked for this
I really
movie.
like the photo you tweeted me. That one I really like more actually when he's like flexing. I was like, oh shoot,
Yeah.
Scope's huge.
Mad games.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin's massive.
Massive.
Like he's as big as Thanos
Yeah.
in real life. All right, guys. Well, Marvel is doing something big here. We've got the MCU. We're going to leave that in the back burner for this week. But let's look a bit at the comics. We didn't talk much about the comics or the fallout from San Diego Comic-Con as far as Marvel is going, because they're moving into another phase of, I'm going to say in air quotes here, relaunching, renumbering, and rebranding. Now we're starting off this next phase of Marvel comic books coming out of the back end of Secret Empire, which I'm still really enjoying. I think this is a great event. Captain America, not a lot of people are loving the idea that he's a Nazi and all this, but it's a cool, maybe not cool, but it's a different take on a character that could and was going a bit stagnant with what they're doing with him. And I like what they're doing here. So I don't know where it's going. My guess is they're going to fix it all with the Cosmic Cube. But we are driving towards Marvel Legacy, which is this big company-wide reset to a degree. But before going into that, we are currently in the Marvel Generation semi-event. This is a 10-week event, 10 issues, 1 issue per week, that is focusing in on a particular character that has 2 iterations, a younger and an older version, and it's a team-up book. I had the opportunity to read Generations number 1, I think it's called Hulks or something like that. And so it's an Amadeus Cho and a Bruce Banner team-up.
Oh, okay.
And for me, there's still a little bit of confusion as to exactly what this is meant to accomplish, other than being a cool story with both Hulks. One which is kind of dead, kind of not, maybe. Don't know. So this when you open up the book, the Generations books, we get this kind of quote. It says, "An instant apart, a moment beyond, loosened from the shackles of the past, present, and future, a place where time has no meaning." So when I read that, I'm looking at, okay, this is just a story that takes place wherever, whenever, and just an opportunity to get 2 characters together.
Right.
And then when you actually read the book itself, you kind of get a feeling that either they're passing the torch in these books and officially saying, look, Banner's kind of gone now.
Right.
And Amadeus Cho is now your Hulk.
Okay.
This new generation's Hulk. So we'll see what the next book is. The Jean Grey book is up next.
Okay.
And we'll see how Wolverine, all that. I don't really know, like I said, what this actually is, but I'm getting a bit of a feeling it's a bit more of a torch passing type thing. And this acknowledgement that as each new generation comes along, they're going to have their own characters.
Right.
And so you look at the parallels between the Miss Marvels and the Wolverines and all this. I think these characters are here to stay. This isn't a book about saying, look, we're going to put Amadeus Cho on the sidelines and Banner's back.
Right.
This isn't what this series was about. And I was kind of thinking it was a bit more of that. It was about kind of reintroducing our old status quo characters.
Right.
It's not really that. So as this bleeds into Marvel Legacy, which is, like I said, it's a relaunching of sorts. We're going back to the original numbering.
Yes.
It's a bit confusing.
Okay.
We're going back to less events. We're bringing back characters that we're familiar with. So, first things, are you guys going to read Generations at all? Do you think it's something that you need to get into before reading Marvel Legacy, if you're even going to get into Marvel Legacy?
Cool. Well, yeah, no, I'm definitely going to get into parts of Legacy and parts of Generations just because, there's going to be times with Spider-Man. Obviously, there's going to be times with Cap, I assume. So I'm definitely going to jump into all that kind of stuff. The only thing is I'm kind of confused because, the passing of the torch thing, I wish they didn't hit you over the head with it. If you go back to the Wally West Flash, or even Barry Allen's Flash, way back in the 70s, they killed off Barry Allen's Flash. They gave you Wally West's Flash, and he was everyone's Flash for from the 70s all the way up to the late 90s when they finally brought back Barry Allen, and that was just kids growing up. That was their Flash, was Wally West. So I don't really know why they need to kind of hit you over the head and be like, this is going to be your new Hulk now, Amadeus Cho. I don't know if that's exactly what they are doing, but there's kind of some confusion there, right? And I'm not necessarily all on board of being force fed a certain character to be my new hero or new status quo or new mantle even, so I'm kind of confused about that. Going back to the original numbering though, I've been asking for that because you and I and Sunjay here, we collect boxfuls of comics, and I like having my Spider-Man 500 all the way up to 800 and so on in Avengers. So definitely excited for the renumbering, and it worked well for Rebirth going with Detective Comics and Action Comics.
Yeah. So that bleeds into kind of our Marvel Legacy talk here. And with Generations, I don't particularly know if you need it, but I would
Right.
read it because it's going to give you a little insight as to what's happening. So we got to get through Secret Empire,
Yes.
through Generations, and hopefully it lines up, first of all.
Yeah.
Because Marvel Legacy is supposed to be this huge initiative to put the focus back on our core superheroes. Now, who those core superheroes are, who Marvel considers those core superheroes, is a bit up in the air at this point.
Yes.
We don't know if it's going to be Kamala Khan or Riri Williams or it's going to be Tony Stark or Captain Marvel. We just don't really know at this point. So it's a bit ambiguous, I think, the statement about it focusing in on the characters. But like you said, we're going to see this renumbering going back to, I think it's Captain America number 623 or something like that. And we've got, what else we got here? We've got Avengers number 672.
Oh, yeah, that's going to look good.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. But for an event, we'll say, or a relaunch or whatever you want to call it, that the VPs at Marvel are calling the place to jump into, how do you think people from the outside are going to perceive seeing numbers in the 700s, 600s, 500s? Like, this is going to be a little bit more intimidating, I think, for those trying to jump into a brand new set of comic books. When you read Avengers number, whatever it was, 672, you're going to think, well, I can't really get into that because there's decades of stories. And yes, there are. But as being an entry point, I like the idea of renumbering personally, but being as an entry point, I think it makes it a bit more difficult for people.
Yeah, it's so tough for me to say because all of us going back when we got comics, we never jumped in at a number one. We all kind of hopped in at a 300, a 200 here or there. And it's been working that way for years. It's only kind of been recent for the last 5 years, maybe they've been doing a lot of these renumberings.
Yeah, that's Marvel too. Yeah.
For Marvel and for the other part too, you always got your trades. Most of these arcs are always done in 6 issues, so every time you want to hop in, it's always the 6th issue or so. And they kind of make it known too when they're starting a new event.
Yeah.
DC does a great job with every rebirth title. They give you like the arc, part 1 of this, part 2 of that.
You do get that on the covers inside of, it's like, whatever, Captain America, this is happening.
Okay. So that's pretty cool, and I hope they go back to the heroic age. I love what they're doing with Cap right now, and he's been bad, and I love what they did with Superior Spider-Man. Didn't really like what they did with Tony when he was the Superior Iron Man, making him bad. But after this, I just want our heroes to be heroes. And no more fighting each other, no more going to war with each other.
Can't you just love each other,
Yeah, just work together and let's decrease that size of the Avenger team and decrease the X-Men comics, or at least the teams, because it's kind of hard to follow when you have like the Astonishing Avengers or the Amazing Avengers, like all these different Avengers. I can't remember a couple of those titles, but there's just so many different Avengers, so many different X-Men, right?
Yeah, it's hard because there's 53 issues dropping in this new Marvel Legacy, which is a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
Right? To me, and I know I'm sounding like I'm beating this up a bit, but I'm actually excited for it. But to me, you cull it down a bit. We've talked a bit about this in the past, but you take that down to 25 titles and start with that.
Yeah.
And just say, here's our core titles. We're going to make this a little easier for people. And then you build up and you kind of go, and maybe that's what they're doing. They're not going to hopefully they don't dump all these at once.
Right.
And you can kind of pick and choose. You can choose a few issues here and there. I don't really like this. So you kind of switch over as new things come onto the shelves. So, yeah, I think that there's a real opportunity here for them to kind of course correct. Because the last few years, if you listen to podcasts and that, Marvel's been taking a bit of a beating. And they've acknowledged that, right?
Yeah.
DC has really pulled their game together.
Yeah.
And with his rebirth and all that, they've really found their footing.
Right.
And Marvel may be trying to parallel a bit of that, but also do their own thing to make it look like they're not copying what DC's done.
That's just it.
Right.
But at some point, you got to look at the MCU to DC Extended Universe. Sometimes it's okay to look over the fence and be like, okay, I see what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to copy that just a bit until I get running, and then I'll do my own thing.
For sure.
So it's okay to copy a bit, I think.
Yeah.
As the only one here who actually doesn't read Marvel on a continuous basis, I've always loved Marvel. Like, people, I don't want to give people the impression that I just hate on Marvel. Like, I actually really like Marvel. I like a lot of their characters and a lot of their villains, and I really do want to get into the books, but honestly, they haven't made it easy for new readers.
Before the renumbering, or
before the renumbering. Like, when I first got into comics from the New 52, DC made it so easy for me. Everything started fresh. I could just jump in and I would try new comics, and that's how I ended up learning that I loved Wonder Woman and Aquaman and The Flash and Superman and Batman. So DC, made it super easy for new readers. Marvel, not so much. I mean, they're trying to do that here. I hope it works well, because I really do want to read some Marvel books. It's difficult as someone who's grew up in the 90s, so, you know, when I read a book in Marvel, when I read a Thor, you know, I expect it to be Thor, not Jane Foster as Thor. And I understand why they're doing it. They're trying to create more diversity in their comic books, and I understand that, and I think that's great. But for someone like, you know, it's kind of comforting when you pick up a book and you pick up Batman and you see it's Bruce Wayne as Batman. So you don't have to ask questions like, okay, I know Dick Grayson was briefly Batman, but you don't have to ask.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Most recently, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. But it is kind of nice that, you know, the way my brain works, if I picked up a book and I saw Commissioner Gordon as Batman, I'd have to be like, well, why is he Batman? And then I had to go back and figure that out.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes it's easy because it's just like 5 issues ago or something. But then sometimes it's not. Like, sometimes it's like 30 or 40 issues in the past. And you're like, oh, man, so I got to, like, go through all his backstory to find out why, you know, Iron Man's different or why Hulk is different. It's kind of intimidating as someone who, you know, grew up on these characters. To see if Spider-Man wasn't Peter Parker, I'd be like, what? He's not Peter Parker? Like, I have no interest in this now. You know, as opposed, like, if Superman wasn't Clark Kent, it's the same to me. Like, they're both iconic superheroes. So DC has gone one way with all their heroes. Like, Aquaman is still Aquaman. All those heroes are still the same. Marvel's has changed it up. So it'd be interesting to see, as you said, when they say all the characters are coming back. You know, it'll be interesting to see what they mean by that. And, you know, are we going to get the X-Men... Like the X-Men team that I grew up with Wolverine, Professor X, Cyclops, Beast, Nightcrawler, Jubilee, Rogue, Jean Grey. I think that's it. Like, just pretty much the 90s cartoon.
Yeah,
it was like my X-Men.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'd love them to do a book like that, but they haven't. So I've kind of stayed away from them.
Yeah, it's a really hard thing to do. It's finding this and striking this balance between the diversification that they've done, which I think is a really good thing. They've got a lot of good characters out of it. And also the status quo characters that have been around for 70 plus years.
Yeah.
And it's finding that balance, I think, is going to be the hard part. And I think that's what maybe this legacy, if it accomplishes anything, that's what it needs to accomplish. It's finding a true balance between Thor and Thor as in Jane Foster, and just kind of going about that. But one thing here, you talk about jumping on points. The editor-in-chief at Marvel said that Marvel Legacy #1, now it's a one-shot, 50-page comic book, he said, and I quote, "This is going to be the very best jumping on point in the history of comics."
Wow.
That's Alex Alonso.
Oh, okay, wow.
Wow.
So I think this is a bit of a play because the Marvel Legacy #1 is going to introduce the 1 million BC Avengers. So the very first Avengers. And that's going to compose of Thor's father, Odin, a Starbrand, a Ghost Rider, I think he was on a woolly mammoth, Phoenix, Agamotto, and a Black Panther. So it's going to be the first Avengers team. And then this book is going to kind of follow through the history of the Marvel Universe into, I guess, the current iteration of the Avengers. So it's going to be an interesting book. But I think when he says the best jumping on point in history, it means it's going to be the furthest back that we're ever going to go in the Marvel Universe, and not necessarily the best jumping on point for new comic book readers. It's a little bit of a play there.
Yeah.
So when does that come out?
That comes out, I believe, in September or October. I don't know exactly.
Okay.
I think September.
And they haven't put a price on it yet, or
the 50-pager, it'll be probably $6.99.
Whoa, $6.99?
Well, what was Rebirth? I mean, Rebirth did essentially the same kind of thing. Remember?
$5.99 or $6.99. Yeah,
it was like $3.99 Rebirth.
Yeah, usually a double size. Like some of the double size Secret Empires are $4.99.
Right.
Yeah, if this is a 50-pager, no, not even double size. Like, what are you, 22, 26 pages? So it's gonna be a big book.
Right.
Oh man, that's expensive. I don't know if I was all on board. I'll shell it out, I guess. Give it a go.
I can just give you mine too.
No. As a collector, I gotta have my own.
There you go. All right, to wrap this conversation up for Marvel Legacy here, let's do a little bit of a breakdown. So it looks like this isn't a reboot, but it's a relaunch. We're getting the renumbering. We're going back to 53 titles, one more than 52. We're going back to the 700s, 800s, 900s.
Yep.
So we're going to get some anniversary issues coming up here with Spider-Man, Avengers, and all that within the next 25 issues or so. It looks like Spider-Man is going back to his roots, back to the Daily Bugle.
Thank you.
Yes. Cap is going to come back at some point. They did announce his new ongoing book. And on the title hat, it says, "Back in the fight to regain the support of a nation." So we're going to get old Cap back. Some of the heroes look like they're returning. Who knows if Odin's son is going to be Thor again, or if we're going to get Hulk. like I said at the top, end of events for now.
Yeah.
And the last question I want to ask here, with Marvel Legacy, can you have a relaunch like this with a tag of Legacy without the Fantastic Four? We know we're getting the Marvel 2-in-1 that will feature the Thing and possibly Johnny Storm, but do we deserve a new Fantastic Four book? And keeping in mind that Jonathan Hickman, who used to write the Fantastic Four, recently came out and said that the reason the Fantastic Four comic books ended was because of the dispute with Fox. So he says that sounds like, or he thought it was more or less public knowledge at this point, but that has been confirmed as the reason they shut down Fantastic Four.
Right.
Does Marvel Legacy to succeed or to maybe actually adhere to this Legacy tag need to have a Fantastic Four in it?
Oof. This is a tough one. I don't think we really need a Fantastic Four, to be honest. But it's tough because reading Spider-Man, especially because he's like a billionaire right now, he owns the Baxter Building. And there was a little foreshadowing, him and Johnny were talking that, I bought this building, basically, Johnny, because one day I want it to go back to you guys. So there is that little seed they planted that they will come back eventually. Will they come back? I really don't know. It's tough to say. They left it on such a cliffhanger too with Secret Wars, right?
Yeah, he's just basically out there fixing the universe.
Exactly. So I think we are going to get them back. I don't know. I've never been the biggest Fantastic Four person, but if it's to move like a bigger event, but I guess we're not getting any more events, so I don't know. I just want to see them wrap up that story with Secret Wars, and I feel like there's a lot of stories they need to wrap up with
just because they're so rooted in the cosmic universe.
Exactly.
That's what I really love about Marvel.
Yeah.
That's why I want to see the Fantastic Four come back. Tell those stories. They don't need to be in the Baxter Building.
Yeah.
Let's go out and in the Skrulls and the Kree and all that.
Explore.
Explore. Exactly.
Yeah.
More of that. More of that Hickman run. That was an exploration book. I want more of that for Fantastic Four.
That lost in space feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sunjay, do we need Fantastic Four?
I think so. I mean, they're Marvel's first family. Without Fantastic Four, you don't have Marvel today. They pretty much saved Marvel in the 60s, I believe, when they came out. So, absolutely. They owe it. There's a huge still readership, I believe, for Fantastic Four. I don't know what the numbers were, but I imagine they were selling pretty well.
I don't think they're ever great.
Oh,
There's
really?
videos on YouTube that had higher views than their
Really?
comic sales. Yeah, it's pretty low. I think it was under like 10,000, and that was being nice. Like,
Wow,
really
I think
low.
it's all movie driven nowadays, and so that changes my opinion. Maybe not then, because everything's all sales based, and if Fantastic Four is not selling, but Guardians is selling because the movie's hot, hey, you gotta go with what's hot.
Exactly.
Unfortunate to say, and I think it's all 100% driven by the movie. If Fantastic Four the reboot, the movie was actually any good, and it made $600-700 million at the box office, of course we'd get a Fantastic Four comic. But it was absolute dog shit, and it made like $40 million, and so Marvel's like, yeah, no, we're not going to put it out. So they're not going to sully their hands, as you will, with the Fantastic Four at this point.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'd like to see it. But if you want a little more Fantastic Four talk, head over to our website, thenerdroom.net. Mark from over at Talk Star Wars put up an incredible article which discusses the possible entry of the Fantastic Four into the MCU, and he drops some serious knowledge there, guys.
Wow.
Yes.
It is the things he connects up with, especially Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm going to tease a little here because we're going to get into it in a future podcast where I want us to talk about Phase 4. And this really, really pushes on Phase 4 of Fantastic Four. And some of the stuff he pulled out, oh man, go check it out, thenerdroom.net. It's called Could the Fantastic Four Enter the MCU? Check it out right now. That's Mark from Talk Star Wars. Incredible. We're going to discuss it for sure in a future episode here.
Sure.
It's that good.
For sure. My little spoiler, his Doctor Doom reference in there, like the origin of Doctor Doom, that had me off the top. Like, that was incredible. Like,
The Baxter Building?
yeah, he killed me on that one. I love that idea. Yeah.
Just go check that out. We'll tease that for now. We'll talk Phase 4 at some point in the near future and
sure.
speculate here because I got some serious knowledge I want to drop about Skrulls and where I
Nice.
think this whole universe is going.
Cool.
There's some
Nice.
big things. Thanos is going to be big, but the potential for Phase 4, if they do have the rights of Fantastic Four,
Right.
is big.
It is.
It's huge.
It is.
All right, guys. Well, that about wraps up our news catch-up episode here. And I have to say one more time, Troy, good luck this weekend.
Cheers.
That's right.
Can't wait. We're going to be there waving at you.
Yeah,
Hey,
hopefully I
buddy.
remember everyone. I'm going to be pretty intoxicated. I don't know. Let's see.
We better be in the speech. And
Yeah.
one thing we're going to announce right here. This is for your fiance. This is Sunjay and mine's present to all this. we're doing a live podcast on the reception floor.
That's right.
We're going to be talking weddings in comic books and film.
Yeah.
So tune in next week while you're on your honeymoon.
Yeah.
And we intrude in on your wedding. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. We're going to have the mic hold up and be like, can you guys re-say that line, please? We didn't quite get it for the podcast.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to hear at the back.
Yeah. Just replay the whole thing. This wasn't recording. We're going to have to start again.
Commenting on outfits.
Yeah.
Well, we wish you all the best, man.
Cool, thanks.
It's going to be a fantastic day of celebration. And if you guys would like to be a part of this show, not Troy's show, but this
if
show.
you want to be part of Troy's wedding, please send an email to... No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you have to RSP. Would you like beef or chicken? You can get a hold of us on Twitter. Our handles are at the end of the episode. You can email us at thenerdrm@gmail.com. You can hit us up on our website, thenerdroom.net. You can also leave a comment on our Facebook or YouTube pages. And if you're out there out and about on the internet, maybe throw us a iTunes review or whatever, something. I don't know. But make sure to get in touch with us if you got questions, comments, whatever. We're always willing to listen and discuss on the episode. And speaking of which, our next episode is going to be a questions episode. So that's going to be dropping the week after. I guess next week, as they call it in normal words. I don't know. So. Yeah. It's going to be dropping next week, so we're going to be talking a few questions on collecting, the origin of the podcast, and a few others. So make sure to tune back in next week for that episode. And until then, gentlemen, for the Nerd Room, I'm Tim.
I'm Troy.
And I'm Sunjay.
And thank you for entering the Nerd Room. This has been a Nerd Room podcast production. You can find our hosts, Tim, Troy, and Sunjay on Twitter at TheNerdRM, TroyTheBoy87, and Sunjabby. For more content from the Nerd Room, check out thenerdroom.net. And don't forget to subscribe to the Nerd Room on iTunes, Podbean, and YouTube. Be sure to head over to StarWarsCommonwealth.com to find more podcasts in the Star Wars Commonwealth Podcast Network, including Talk Star Wars, Tumbling Saber, Generation X-Wing, Rogue Squadron Podcast, Skyros Podcast, and San Diego Sabers. Follow the Star Wars Commonwealth on Twitter at SW Commonwealth and take your first steps into a larger world.